Hello again, everyone. Teacher Kurt here with you again. You know, we've had a lot of holidays recently with Christmas and Chinese New Year, and since this is the most popular time of the year for traveling, I thought we could talk about a travel-themed topic, the exit row. Let's get started. So, what is the exit row? Well, exit rows are the areas of an airplane beside the emergency exits. If a plane has a problem mid-flight and has to make an emergency landing, passengers will exit from these areas. And if you choose to sit there, there are some pros and cons that you might want to be aware of. Now, for starters, not everyone's qualified to sit in an exit row. Most countries have strict rules governing who is or who isn't allowed to sit there. And the reason for this is that it's important to have someone who's able to carry out the instructions from the flight crew in the event of an emergency, as well as someone who's physically fit enough to open the door. Now, the rules vary from country to country, but generally speaking, children, disabled people, pregnant women, and the elderly aren't allowed to sit in an exit row. Now, this is to ensure that the person sitting there has enough strength and mobility to help if an emergency occurs. Typically, the passengers in an exit row are also required to speak and understand English, or the local language of the airline company. So, for example, if it's a French airline, the passenger should be able to speak and understand French. Now, this is to ensure that if the flight crew gives the passenger instructions on how to open the exit, they're capable of carrying out those instructions. Now, as you can imagine, many people are unsure about sitting in an exit row. Now, travel via airplane is incredibly safe, much safer than driving in a car. But in the unlikely event that something happens, a capable exit row passenger could prevent a possible tragedy. Now, that's a big responsibility. But are there other pros and cons in regards to sitting there? Well, there are actually a few pros. The main one being the extra room that an exit row typically provides. Now, this row has to be wide enough for passengers to exit the plane, which means you'll be able to stretch those legs. And there won't be anyone in front of you reclining their seat. And at meal times, there's a good chance that exit row passengers will be served their meals first. Well, that sounds great, right? Unfortunately, there are also some cons to sitting here. First of all, most airlines won't allow you to keep your carry-on bag in front of you during takeoff or landing, as these bags could provide obstacles to passengers during an emergency. And because exit rows are near the engines, you're probably going to hear more engine noise than other passengers. And worst of all, exit row seats are usually in very high demand because of the extra leg room they provide, which means they cost more than other seats around them. Well, that's all for today. What do you think about the exit row? Would you sit there? Personally, I don't want the responsibility, although the extra legroom does sound nice, especially if it's a long international flight. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please remember to click like and share. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.